Hello guys, this is Fred. Just wanted to put together a quick video on what my thoughts were for the information tab. So this tab right here. This is kind of the final product. This is all the blocking we need to do for um, this feature. So let's kind of get started. Let me get back to zero here really quick and delete this. And then let's get back to here and let's delete all this. Delete. 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 And delete. Let's get this back to 0. So 18 says info. It's normal. And there is no bottom. Okay, so this is kind of where we're starting off on the other application. And the first thing we're going to do is add a button. And I just kind of like to do the styling as I go. So make sure your label is on top of that button. We need some space between those, so we're going to add a margin to our button, which is highlighted. So we just need to add the 6. And then our button, we're going to do the styling. Let's go ahead and finish off our label here really quick. You saw what I had before. I just put resources, change the font to 14, change the font weight to bold, and there it is. Now on the button's a little bit different. We the text is actually going to contain the hyperlink to the web page we want to go to, and the text color is going to become clear. So when we add the image, it doesn't show on top of the image. So let's go ahead and let's change the size of our button really quick. The height, we want a absolute value of, I put 80, but let's go ahead and go with 100. The width, we want to go with a relative size of 94%. The radius, we want this to be square with like round corners, so I moved that down to 8. The border color is basically black, and the style is solid. So the background color, it's not really going to matter because we're putting a picture on it, but let's set it to clear. So if the picture doesn't fit quite right, it won't show a color on the background there. And we're going to create several of these buttons. So let's go ahead and set a bottom just to have a space between them of 20. And I think that is all we need for now. Oh, let's go ahead and background picture resize mode. We're going to put this to stretch. Okay. So these are kind of all the properties that are going to be shared amongst all the buttons. So I did that first. Let's go ahead and rename this button. Also, let's call it button 1's fine. Okay. So with that done, we want to copy this button a couple times. So we're going to duplicate. And duplicate again. And we're going to duplicate again. I have sent, this is kind of just our basic layout, okay? It's good to go now. I have actually sent an email, which this is, I use Outlook. I'm not sure what you guys use, but this is our inbox. And here's all the hyperlinks, and the images you saw earlier are also in this email. You just need to download them and then save them to the project. Okay, so I'm just going to start off with this first one. I'm going to right click it and I'm going to copy the link. Okay, then I'm going to go back to our project, and in the button text I'm going to paste that. Okay, and our text color, let's go ahead and just set it up really quick just so we can see. All right, I did this to the wrong button, which is fine. You can come up here, do it to the right button, paste it. Check it out, make sure it's on the right button, which it is. Let's go ahead and set all these to black really quick until we get these hyperlinks done. Then let's go back to the next hyperlink. Right click on it, copy the link, go back to our app, paste it. Next one. Copy the link, paste it. And our last one. Copy the link. Paste it. Okay, with those all set up, now we want to set up our images. And like I said before, I did send all the images up in here. I have actually already done this. I recommend you just create a folder on your desktop. You know, if you're dealing on a Chromebook, I think you just hit your right-click button. Then you go down to, there's going to be a selection called New, which will have an arrow on it, and then you just open it up, and it'll have a way for you to create a new folder. So you create a new folder. I put mine as Stand Together. That was just my thought for a name for the app. You guys can decide on that. But and I put all those images in that folder. That's where I downloaded all my images to. So back in the app, to set an image, you just go to whatever button you want to go to. Click on Upload File. Go to where your file's saved. In this case, it's Stop Bullying. And then I just open it. It's not going to work for me since I've already, well, it might, because I changed the name. So let's go ahead and set that up. Asset add it. Notice how the text shows through, so I'm just going to change that text color to this clear button right here, and there it is. So let's go ahead and reset all these. Let's go ahead and set these background images to all of them that I want. So this one's going to be the Pacers. Open, asset add it, boom. This one's going to be Edutopia. So upload the file, Edutopia, boom. And then the last one is Teaching Tolerance. So upload the file, Teaching Tolerance, open that. Notice if we don't get rid of this text, if we don't change it, it just shows right over the top of everything. So we're just going to go through and set that to clear, clear, and clear. And that is setting up the UI, the user interface. Now we want to do the blocks for this, and that's really simple. Every time we click on this, we want to open up that website in the device's browser. So we go to blocks. What we want to do is we don't want a ton of code, so we don't want a button click for each separate button when we don't have to. They're all pretty much going to do the same thing. So we're going to go into any component here. And I'm going to drag this out. I'm going to change this to when any button is clicked, okay? On any label, when any button is clicked, we want to do something, okay? And what we want to do is we want to get the text from the label and then use that to open up a link. So we come here to control, go all the way to the bottom. We want to open a link there. And we want to take the label of any component. So we're going to drag the component right to there. Gives us a little warning, but when we attach it up to here to open that link, that warning goes away. And that's it. Back to design. Let's go ahead and run a live test. Wait for our resources to upload. And then guess what? When we click on any of these, guess what opens up? So that's it. I hope this video helps. We'll talk to y'all later.